guys? What do you think? Can an app design or website be the same or the static? Like हर app जो हम देखते हैं, can that be the same or static? Yes. So I can see many yes, but won't that be so boring in our like the way we see? Can we see it every day? Like हर website या हर page अगर Google जैसे ही दिखने लगे, तो how would you differentiate? है ना? So I can see no's also. So yeah, so every website or app is different, and the methods and technique to create it are different as well. The scope and need for UX UI designer will continue to grow indefinitely. Every day, something new in the field of information technology emerges, due to which business spend a lot of money to improve their user interface and user experience. So, why to wait to acquire the skills? Who better to speak on this topic than Vaishnavi Dwivedi, our immensely brilliant, skilled, and all rounder speaker? And why I say all rounder? Because she is a product strategist and UX designer at Bottle HQ, as well as a web dev team lead, software developer, product analyst intern, and DevOps intern. Also, she have worked as developer advocate and machine learning intern at nimblebox.ai. She is now interning at Scalar Academics as a developer advocacy intern. Furthermore, I see a connection between Vaishnavi Dwivedi as she was a GDSE lead at Riot Nehru. Last but not least, she is founder of Michi Spotlight. So, if you guys would wish to connect with Vaishnavi Dwivedi, we would provide her social media account links in our chat box so you can get connected with her. Now, I would like to invite her and continue and carry forward our discussion. Over to you, ma'am.
Hi, hello everyone. Thank you so much for the kind introduction. And yeah, like most of it I don't deserve. But anyway, but yeah, like I'm also excited for this session. I hope you all are as well. And yeah, like good to see about 69 people interested in UI UX design. And yeah, like let's get started. So basically, I would say that, I mean, I always have this presentation always ready by my side, because I do a lot of these workshops where, like all across different colleges, that, just to sort of give an introduction about UI UX. But I mean, it's totally up to the audience and, everyone. If you want to see the slides, or if you want to just like, have a more interactive sort of session, uh like it's totally up to you. You can let me know in the chat, if you want to have like an interactive session, or you just want me to talk, because you don't want to talk or something, or you can't talk, I'm not really sure, or maybe you can because of the chat, like so yeah, let me know, like if you have any thoughts, the organizers have any thoughts on this.
Yeah, so they can chat in the chat box and they can interact through the chat box.
All right. Okay, so a few people are saying PPT also. So just for the visual aid, let me also like bring up the PPT if you don't mind. Um,
Yeah, sure, you can share the PPT. Someone
okay,
from the team, please unshare the screen.
cool. I can share the PPT where, or like I can share it on my own, right?
Yeah, you can share it on your own.
Arey. Just a second. There we go. Wait, not this one. Okay. Not exactly sure what's going wrong here, but just give me 1 second. Cool. There we go. Oops. Okay. So I hope you all can see my screen. I hope you all can see UI and UX design hands-on workshop thing. I mean, we can go hands-on if you want, but preferably not because it takes a lot of time. But okay. Uh, but yeah, like, so I mean, so let's just start with the very basics, right? I mean, a lot of people have very many misconceptions about design and about UI, UX, about graphic designing and how all of these things come together and just playing together. So let me just uh, yeah. So first of all, the thing is that a lot of people confuse graphic designing and UI UX designing, and like I'm pretty sure that a lot of you might also have this misconception. So before we go further with the presentation, can someone tell me, like, what do you think is the difference between graphic design and UI UX design? If that is like just like in a few words, so that you're not like typing the whole time, since you have to type the answer. So yeah, like just let me know if you know a difference between graphic designing and UI UX design, anything that might stand out to you, or anything that might seem that is different in both the fields and words. Shushmita De is raising her hands. Can she unmute? Not sure if the participants can unmute, but
Yeah, I've asked her to unmute. Yeah, she can.
Yes, ma'am.
yeah.
Graphic design is just something like we can create using Canva or Adobe, and UI UX design is something like that we can create using HTML, CSS.
Okay, not bad. Not very accurate, but not bad. Like, I think the part where you said that, graphic design, you can do it with Canva. I think that is definitely correct and accurate. But there's just a lot more to, both the fields and just the tools. So don't worry, like that, it's a good answer. And thank you so much for unmuting and, letting us know your thoughts. So let's see, like there are a couple of answers, of quite a few answers in the chat as well. UI UX is for user ease. Okay, that is definitely accurate. UI UX is for website or app. Graphic maybe for poster or that kind. Not accurate, but kind of there. User interfaces, interaction graphic design, not user based. Okay, is interaction graphic design is not user based. Okay, graphic design is basically small static things, but UI UX is altogether experience which can be interactive. Okay, that's nice. I mean, you all have like a good understanding, but let's just clear it up a little bit so that it's a little bit easier for you to explain the next time someone asks you this question. So yeah, so basically, graphic designers, what they do is that, they are more pixel focused, as in, like Sushmita also said that, you create graphics on Canva or Adobe Photoshop or Illustrator or something like that, some sort of tool like that. And the primary goal of a graphic designer is is aesthetics, right? I mean, they want to make sure that they are creating something that looks good and appeals to the person who is looking at it, right? I mean, if you have heard of NFTs and all of these things, then mostly like these are made by graphic designers because they require aesthetics. There's nothing there's no such thing as usability, or they don't care about is the person who is going to be like looking at these designs, or how they feel after looking at those designs. So just like, on just a simple sort of a thing, a simple sort of a distinction is that, graphic designers are more focused on aesthetics, and that is fine. Like, obviously aesthetics are everything in graphic designing, whereas UX designer, so now the reason why we call it UX designer and not UI UX designer, so UI UX itself is like a word that is used in the industry just to like sell courses, and like a lot of people, they know UI UX as something that exists. But actually the thing is that UX, or it's also called as user experience, we'll get into it in a bit. So UX is like an umbrella term inside of which there is something called UI, which is like, the user interface and everything. So the user experience combines every single thing that is, there to design an experience of, let's say, a website or a mobile application or something like that. So that is what a UX designer does. They are more focused towards the user's needs. So their main goal is to solve the problems of the end user. So basically, like, making sure that, their focus is not aesthetics, because there might be certain, like, if you go to if you go to some websites, it might look very nice, but you might have trouble doing things or carrying out certain actions or just signing up to the website, because the UX designer or like the developer focused more on, the aesthetics of how it looks, but not how the user feels while using this particular application. So I hope that clears the difference between the two. If you have any if you have anything that, any doubts that you might have, please let me know in the chat so that we can discuss it as well, because I mean, I understand that a lot of people might be new to this, so that is like completely understandable. Now, breaking down UI and UX, right? So what is UI and what is UX? Like I said, UX is an umbrella term, and inside of it there is something called UI. But what is the full form of both? First of all, let's just start there. What is the full form of UI and UX? Like, let's just, just to sort of uh get answers. Akshat Jain has raised hand. You can unmute yourself.
So basically, user interface will be UI is user interface, and it's like what we see on the screen is user interface,
Right.
and what we are experiencing is user experience, and that's the full form of UX.
Definitely. That is the correct answer. I mean, the most simplest answer, but that is how we look at it. Because UX is user experience and UI is user interface. A lot of people are raising their hands. We'll get to you all. There are more questions that we have. So, obviously you can unmute yourselves then. But a lot of people have said user experience, user interface, user experience, correct. That is the correct full form for these two. Now, let me get into it a little. So user experience is the very simple way to sort of distinguish between the two terms, is that user experience is how the user will feel while using a product or a website or an app or whatever it is, right? And user interface is what a person or a user or just a person sees while they're using the product. How does the product look? So that is what comprises in the UI, right? So these are that is the essential difference between the two. Just give me 1 second. For that. Yeah. All right. So I hope that is sort of clear, that, user experience is how a user feels or a person feels while, using the product, whereas user interface is what you look at. So right now, you are looking at the user interface of Zoom, right? While looking at, or while, watching this session. So you're looking at the user interface of Zoom, but how you feel about it, or like, whether you're able to join the meeting properly, easily, or, whether you are facing some problems while, leaving the meeting, whether the button is not working or something like that. So that all comes under the user experience. And believe it or not, when it comes to like designing a user experience for an app or a website or anything, a lot of it is also dependent on the back end of a project, or like a website or something, because the back end determines how fast the app runs, or like, how fast are the APIs, how fast is the response and everything. So the user experience also depends on the backend. So it's not something that just designers have to think about. It's also something that developers should, be aware of. So if you want to be a developer or a designer, you should nonetheless, like, if you want to build a good product, you should understand what user experience is. And UX, it doesn't just comprise of design. There's a lot of things inside of UX. There's UX research. You have to understand who you are building it for. You have to do a lot of research into it. You have to build case studies. You have to, it's not just all designing and, creating very good looking designs on Figma. That is not what user UX design is. There are other things inside of it. There's interaction design, visual design, and then there are like things like, UX writing. So like, let's just say that if you have opened, like if you've ever used Swiggy, right, and there's no internet, and you open this the Swiggy app, then they show you an empty state. They show you that, something is wrong. Oops, our best minds are on it. So even that copy, that text that is there on the app, when when the internet is down, even that is very well thought of, and there are people to do that, because that also contributes to the user experience of the product. Because if you don't take care of states where there is no internet, or there is maybe some user has not done any activity, so you have to show that this is empty, and you have to click on this button to create like something, or just something like an empty state. So you have to like, as a UX designer, as a UI UX designer, you have to think about all of these things. And you can't exactly be a UI designer. Like, you can't just like go about designing user interfaces without caring about the user experience. That is why UI is just a part of UX. So UI designing, you just like creating interfaces is just a part. It's just a part of the entire process that you have to follow in order to build a very impactful product. So I hope that that is clear for most people. If something went over your head, you can raise your hand, and I can like, you can ask your questions, or you can like put that in the chat as well, because I don't want to move forward without without you having a very clear understanding of what UI and UX are. So that someone, if they reach out to you, if they ask you, okay, what is UX, what is UI, you are able to explain it to them, that this is what it is. So yeah, I hope that that is clear to everyone. Just let me know in the chat, or just unmute yourself or something. Let me know if it's clear. All right, good to go. Perfect. Clear. Okay. All right. Can we say how the app looks is UI? Yes, definitely. You can say that. Cool. So here's a meme thingy to sort of visually depict UI versus UX. So, from a distance, UI might seem, wow, this is such a nice, beautiful looking UI. But the user experience for the person who the UI is for might be very, pathetic, because, it might not be like, it might not be very considerate of the user itself than it was for the aesthetics and the looks of it. So that is like essentially the difference, right? Yeah. I mean, it's a pretty like old thing, but yeah, I usually try to put this up so that uh, everyone understands what this is. Now, a lot of you might be also thinking that why should I learn UX, or like, why should I learn UI UX, or is it like a career that is actually, that pays a lot, or that is actually interesting or not. The thing is that these days in India, at least, a lot of people have been, jumping onto UI UX, and that's a good thing because, if you look at every product these days, any product these days, any app, install it from App Store, like, that has a lot of users or something, maybe like, something that is not made by the government, because the government apps are like, if you go to the government of India's website or the COVID website, if you I'm pretty sure like a lot of you might have visited that website while booking your vaccine slots. It was not the best designed, or like the best user experience, right? Sometimes, like, when we used to enter the OTP, like when we used to enter the number, and like we waited for like 2-3 minutes for the OTP to come. So that is again like a part of the backend, yet it is a very crucial part of the user experience. A case in point, before, like, just sort of connecting the engineering part of it, the development part of it with the design. So I mean, if you look at those websites, obviously they need a lot of improvement. And in India, in most of the products, if you see, people don't know how to like think about the user while designing something, and they don't give a lot of, at least they did not give a lot of importance until very recently, since there have been so many startups upcoming these days, and they've been giving very much, like, a lot of importance to the user experience and the user interface of their own product. And that is why most people are like looking for designers right from the start, especially startups. So, if you're looking to, get some experience as a UI designer or UX designer, you can like join some of the early stage startups. They might be unpaid, but it would be a good experience for you to learn and like experiment with stuff. But obviously, before you get to the internships and the things that that you want to do, or the projects, before that you need to make sure that your foundations are very clear. So we'll get into how you can learn UI UX, because I mean that is, so see, in this workshop I'm not going to teach you UI UX, because the thing is that you can't learn it in one session in 1 hour. You need a lot of, not just practice, but a lot of exposure to good designs and good user experiences. So like, if you use any of the social media applications, have you ever wondered about the design, about the how it looks, or how it whether it's like a good app, or is it good looking or not? I'm pretty sure majority of the people, before even like thinking about, before learning about UI UX, or before getting exposure to UI UX as a field, they might not have wondered about the design at all. Because the thing is that when you have good design, or when you have like a good user experience, it is invisible, because nobody cares. It's a good app. I can like I focus more on what I want to do with it. So like, if I open Instagram right now, like before this workshop, if you haven't if you didn't like hear about like UI UX before this workshop, you must have thought that, okay, Instagram, let me just post a story, or let me just post a post or something, or a reel or something like that. I focus more on what I want to do on the app, instead of like the design. Oh, this is a good design, wow, reels have such a good design, and like the like button has such a nice animation for the liking or something. You don't think about that. The user doesn't think about that, at least if they don't if they've never been exposed to design. So good design is invisible. But at the same time, when Instagram doesn't work, when Instagram is like not working, or there is like some sort of lag, or when it went down, then you're like, or if let's say the post button is not showing, or if there's some problem with this, or like if it's not like if there's some sort of bug in the app, then you're like, okay, the design is so bad. Or if you look at your friend's app, a friend of yours is a developer, and they created an app for a hackathon project, let's say, and they give you give you the APK to test it out, and you're like, oh god, this is such a bad design, or this button is not working, or this is not happening, that is not happening. That's when you see that, okay, there's a flaw in the design. So good design is invisible. Always use that as a thumb rule. So a lot of people, they get into UX, they get into like this field, and they create very good designs. It looks very good, and they've uploaded it on Dribble, or they have very good portfolios. But when you give it to a developer and they start coding it up pixel by pixel, exactly how you've created the design, then you will realize, okay, what exactly, whether this is actually usable or not. Whether if you give this design to a user, whether they will use it, or whether they'll be able to navigate all the actions properly. So like if your app is like an e-commerce app, where, or like a food ordering app, whether the user is able to carry out the action that they want to. So if they can't do that, then the user experience is not good, right? Because at the end of the day, for an app or for any company or anything that you are building, at the end of the day, the sales are important. The people who are using the services provided by the app is the most important thing, and that is like user experience sort of accentuates that. So that is why in today's technological world, where apps and websites and all of these things are very like emerging a lot, especially now with Web3. There's another dimension for the UX designers, and like there's a lot of good amount of jobs and roles in this field. So I mean, definitely you can, like, there's a lot of scope if you're wondering about that, and it's definitely worth exploring as well. So just like just sort of giving you the context here, that why is this important now. Anyway, like I mean, this is just like a context. Let's move on to the sort of a brief explanation, a little bit more deeper into why UX design is important. So like I said, the usability part is important, the customer experience definitely is important, because as a startup, or like if let's say you created an app for a startup, right? So you want to make sure that the user experience is good enough so that they recommend your app to other people, because word of mouth publicity is very important. Because usually startups, they don't have funds in the beginning to do paid ads on Facebook and Instagram and stuff, so that they can get more people. So that's why word of mouth is very important. So if the user experience is good, then that happens. So and for startups, like I said, for startups it's very, very important. For hackathons, see, the thing is that when hackathons happen, a lot of people, they just focus on their code and the project that they're building. Very less people focus on the user experience and the UI, right? And how well it looks and how well it works, and like how usable this is. So like if you give your hackathon project to another person, they're able to carry out whatever action that the app is supposed to carry out, right? Or it solves whatever problem that they are facing. So in hackathons, if you like focus on this, then you can definitely, like, you have a chance to win that hackathon, because not a lot of people focus on it. Because to be honest, not a lot of people pay much mind to it. And if you like prepare before the so when a hackathon starts, you can't usually start coding before the hackathon starts. So you can't start your project before that. Usually that's the case. In some hackathons it might be different, but if in a hackathon you are prepared with the wireframes, like how the just like a concept of the, let's say you are building an app, and if you are prepared with the designs, what colors are you going to use and what font you want to use, if you've prepared with all of these things, then you will save a lot of time, right? You just have to code it up. You have thought of the entire concept, you've thought of the entire thing that you want to do, what features you want to add, and everything apart from it. So I mean, that will give you an edge for sure. And it will give you time to research as well. So yeah, like just going prepared with all of these things, it's very important. Okay, someone just scribbled on it, but sure. Okay. Yeah, and business success is important. So like business success, like I said, for startups. Okay. Nice. This scratchy thing is appearing everywhere now. But that's fine, no issues. Uh, Shushmita is asking, ma'am, how can I access this PPT? So this is like, something that I use for my workshops. I don't give it out, but I hope that, it doesn't contain any value in my opinion. You can watch a recording of the workshop if you want, but yeah, like I don't think that it will give you a lot of value. So yeah. Anyway, so how to get started with UI UX design? Now tell me one thing, like everyone, how many of you have heard about the Google Coursera UX design certificate? Like, just let me know in the chat. Yes, Akshat.
So basically, I started it a week before only. The first course I am doing currently, and it's quite amazing experience for me, as it's quite detailed, and yeah, I am also making notes, which is helpful for me, I guess.
Good, good, good. Very good. Very nice. So for those of you who haven't, there's a course on Coursera. It's by Google and it's about UX design, right? And whatever I'm telling in this course, in this workshop, not course, in this workshop, whatever I'm telling, obviously some of it might overlap in the introduction course. But the thing is that, so let me just give you some context about this. So it is a very good course for anyone who wants to get an introduction to a UX design. And like Akshat said, that the everything is free, like the this thing is free, like the videos are free and everything, but the certificate is paid, and that is fine. Like you can find the videos on YouTube also, I think, on their YouTube, I think, Learn with Google or something. So I mean, the lectures and everything is like free and all, and it's very detailed also. For a beginner, I think it's the best course out there for UX design. So you can definitely get started with that, because it is like very streamlined way of learning. But the thing is that if you do that course like entirely, that is fine. Like I think there are 8 modules in that course, 8 so the certificate has 8 courses inside of it, so it's going to take a lot of time for sure. So my advice is that, I mean, obviously you can do the entire course, and I think I would recommend it if you are very serious about this field, but you won't get everything or like all the info in that course. Like there might be some projects that you're able to do, but those projects you can't showcase on your resume, because the thing is that, like, if you see yeah, a lot of people will be doing that course, the same course. A lot of people are doing that course at this point, because it's probably the best course out there for UX design. There's, I mean, which is like obviously free of cost, especially the course material. So that is free of cost, but obviously there are other courses as well, and they're very, very hefty. They have a very hefty pricing. So usually like it's almost equal to like a college degree sometimes. So I would say, I mean, like if you're very, very serious about this field, then you can definitely check those sort of cohort-based courses and things like that. But there are a lot of self-taught people as well. So for example, I have never done a course on UX design, and I've taken like more than, I think, 75 workshops on this UI UX. And just by taking workshops only, like I know a little bit at least about the basics and everything. Obviously I know beyond that as well, because of my work and like whatever I'm doing. But see, the thing is that when it comes to UX design, uh, the UX design certificate that you're doing from Google, it will just show you, or it will just teach you how Google does UX design. So they will talk about empathy, they will talk about a lot of things, but it won't be like it won't cover everything. So you can't, like, after doing that course, you can't just jump onto an internship. You'll have to do a lot of hands-on exercises and a lot of hands-on projects and stuff to get yourself equipped. Now on YouTube there are a lot of tutorials and everything, so you can follow them, or like you can just like peruse through them. But honestly, the best way of doing anything, or best way of learning anything, is by doing, right? It's by creating and it's by building. So here's how I usually recommend people to get started. So the first thing is that, just by doing a course or just by reading articles and things like that, you won't develop a sense of, good design sense, right? A lot of people do that. And then once they start designing, it's just like, it's very, very pathetic, honestly. So how do you develop that sense of design? Like, when you look at a design, how do you determine whether this is good or not, whether this has a good experience or not? What are the principles and everything? So for that, the first thing that you can do is, obviously you can either complete that course by Google, but just to reinforce your understanding, you can go to websites like Dribble, Behance and all of these places, and they have like they have a very big collection of good UX or UI design, not UX but mostly UI designs. So if you look at any of the UI designs, you can pick any one of them and you can try redesigning or like just copying the exact thing. So the first thing you want to do is get used to the tools, which is Figma. So Figma and Adobe XD are like the leaders in the UX design field right now. There's Sketch also. So Sketch is only available for Mac users, but Figma is available on the web. So if you go to figma.com right now, you can sign up and you can start creating your designs. And usually I prefer Figma mostly because, it's probably the best tool out there, and also because I'm a Figma community advocate, so I have to sort of. So but yeah, like it's a great tool, and you can the first thing is to get used to the tool, right? Because a lot of people, they just don't know the full capabilities of this tool. So first get used to it. And how to get used to it? Just pick any design from these sites like Dribble, Behance. You just go to any of these sites, pick any design, try to replicate it exactly pixel by pixel. It might be a good design, it might be a bad design, doesn't matter. You just need to make sure that you know how to use the tools and you know how to replicate something, because you need to be able to steal as well, right? So yeah, like yeah. So yeah, I mean that's how you get started with the tooling. And then once you are good, like you get a lot of practice with the tools and everything, what you can do is, like, you can also read up on like UI principles, laws of UX, different kinds of things, right? Just to get you used to a little bit of principle stuff. So see, most of the things that are there in UX design, there are laws that are defined and there are some UI principles that you should follow. And then the rest of it is up to you. Like, it's up to your own creativity. Because if you see, if you try to create like a mobile app which is entirely different, like it's like just completely different than the mobile applications that are available on the App Store or the Play Store right now, then it might be difficult for people to just use your app, because they might not be familiar with how to navigate through this app. So there are certain principles that need to be followed. So learn about those principles through blogs and different videos on YouTube, and there's a way to do that, and I'll get to it in just a bit. And yeah, like you can also once you are aware of the UX laws and everything, you can pick these designs from Behance and try to see what is wrong with them. That is also a very good exercise. So that is one thing. Okay, there's a question. Let's take that. Just a basic doubt. I design some things, but I showcase them on LinkedIn instead of Dribble or Behance. And when I see people showcasing their projects, they are set in some templates or things like that. So would you explain something on it? How can we showcase there instead of plainly posting SS on it? So see, honestly, in my opinion, I don't like Behance and Dribble for posting my own projects, because like those, I mean, on Behance, like it's pretty much a disaster, because it's very difficult to go through a project on Behance. Like, honestly, in my opinion, that is just my opinion, and like a few more other people in the design industry, they share the same opinion. Obviously, a lot of people have different opinions, but if you want, like, obviously don't just share the screenshots, There is an export option on Figma. There are a lot of Figma plugins where you can like, add a frame on top of it. So let's say you created a mobile app ka wireframe. Then you can like, use a plugin to like just, have a 3D mobile sort of a thing showcasing the frame. So I can show you an example also. Let me see if I can like pull it up or anything, but I'm not very sure if I should like open my Figma here, but let's see. We'll see about that. So you can do that. And see, in my opinion, LinkedIn is fine. I think I would recommend you to put your designs on Twitter or your portfolio website, right? Because Twitter, there are a lot of people who are excited about UI UX on Twitter, because there are people from outside as well, and people like in the US or like other countries, they are like, they have many more resources on UI UX, and like they have a lot of exposure to good design. And for us, we've not had that kind of exposure, at least up till now, because now we have like, good apps coming up. So once we do have like good exposure to good visual design, we'll be also be able to like create good stuff. So my thing is that, just be more observational whenever you download a new app on your phone. Just try to like think about what the user experience is, or just how good the design is, or how well placed the buttons are, or things like that. And there's also like another thing that I do. So there's a site called Product Hunt. If you go to Product Hunt, like this is more for like UX research. If you want to get into UX research, researching more about the user experience and how to think about the users, think about the market. It goes more into like, UX research and product management. So we don't want to get too deep into that, but just go to Product Hunt, and there are a lot of websites and apps over there. There are different kinds of products, but look for websites and apps and install them, because these are like apps created by people who are indie hackers, like people who don't, they're like, most of them are not startups, just like individual builders. And you can just like, create a case study on those sort of apps, because everybody creates a case study on Swiggy and Zomato and all these things. Obviously you can do that as well if you want to be a UX designer over there. But in my opinion, like if you create case studies on these small products, created by indie hackers and stuff, or like startups which are very early stage, it will genuinely help them. If you just like create a case study and send it to the founder of that company, or like whatever, or an indie hacker, they will know how to improve on their project. They will also feel nice that someone is doing a case study on their project. But more importantly, it will allow them to improve on their own things. And if you are lucky, then like the product might have been like from a startup which is well funded, and they might hire you as well. So that is again a good thing. But in my opinion, if you are creating a project, or like something like a case study, or like or some designs and things that you've built on Figma, then try to showcase them on your own portfolio website. So there are two ways to create it. Either you code it up if you are a developer using HTML, CSS, or you can use Webflow. So Webflow is like a no code tool. So you don't have to code anything. It's a website builder, and you can use it. So that is also a very good tool, and you can easily create like your website within like a few hours. And it's like it has a good content management system as well. You can put in your portfolio and your work over there. So that is a good way to do as well. Now, I think someone also mentioned that UX is like about HTML, CSS. So UX does not require you to code or anything, right? Usually people prefer it if you have a simple understanding of HTML and CSS, if you want to be a product designer or a UX designer. The reason for that is because they also want you to design their marketing page, like, or their landing page. And those kind of pages are built on these Webflow and no code products, and that is usually handled by a designer, because they don't want the engineers to work on like small websites. They want them to focus on the actual main product. So this is usually the case. So you can, like, if you have a good understanding of HTML and CSS, that will definitely give you some brownie points, but it's not necessary to do that. That's not the main goal over here. You need to focus more on the part where you are like, where you shine, which is like creating designs and stuff. So again, that's there. Now let's move further. Yeah, so it's all about inspiration, experimentation with the options available. So yeah, I mean, like, this meme thing is, Behance dribble other people's UX portfolio. So I think the Google Coursera certificate, they also give you a lot of examples of other people's portfolios. I will also share a few links. I'm not sure if I have them right now, but I will share these links. So there is this website where you can find out, where you can explore different portfolio websites of people who are pursuing a master's in human computer interaction, which is like, which is a field which lies within UX, right? So it's like a master's degree for, this UX design. And usually people who do HCI, they end up becoming UX designers and product managers and things like that. So there's a website for all the people who are pursuing these master's programs, their portfolio websites showcasing their work first of all, and how they have presented their work, so you can gain some inspiration from there as well. So I'll probably share that website if I could. And yeah, last but not the least, there is this program called 100 Days of UX that I'm doing. So just like 100 Days of Code that you might have been exposed to, 100 Days of UX is like on similar lines. So I'll show you quickly how the 100 Days of UX thing works. Wait, let me just quickly. So bit.ly/100 UX Notion. So this is like a Notion site. And I mean, okay. So yeah, like, so over here, like, here are some tasks. So what you can do here, I mean, I have not updated it since February 3rd. Wow, it's been a long time. Okay, I mean, it's not like, going as planned, but yeah, like, it's I think you can like at least start with the basics. By the time I'm finished with my exams and everything, like, I'll be able to like update everything. But just sort of getting set up with the basics and then giving you fun activities. So basically, like, I provide with all the resources, like different websites where you can study like different kinds of case studies, and some resources, some communities that you can join, and like, just giving you some challenges to perform. And you can like do those challenges and like post them on Twitter using the hashtag 100 Days of UX. So you can get started with this, and it will give you a much more hands-on experience rather than doing a course or watching videos or something. And like, this course also has a lot of resources that a lot of people can use. So there are blogs, and like, there's this thing, laws of UX. This is different websites that I know of. I attach the link. I ask people to like review them. Maybe sometimes I ask them to summarize them, just to give them like, good resources to learn first of all, and second of all, like, just learning one step at a time. Because a lot of people complain that, okay, there's so many resources to learn from, so how do I get started and everything? So this is like a very structured approach to learning UX design. So yeah, I can share the link to this, and if you want, you can also get started. But like, yeah, I mean, and if you need any help, you can also join our Discord. It's called Michi Spotlight, and like, we help people over there. We give feedback, and there are a lot of design mentors also, so you can show their work to them. And I have planned a lot of these kind of sessions, where you can get feedback, and where you can sort of do a lot of one-on-one mentorship with people. So like, you can get started with that as well. So like, this is just like a community of sort, community based experience of sort, instead of like doing a course passively, watching videos and stuff. So anyway, I hope that sort of helped. That's pretty much it from my end. This is not That's not, we won't do that. But like I can also share, like show you Figma and stuff, but yeah, like most of it is like my work kind of. So but yeah, like do check out Figma and stuff, and that's how you can like get started and everything. But now that the session is done, like from my end, it's pretty much done. Not sure how much time we have left, but if you have any questions, please feel free to unmute yourself, ask them, and yeah, then we can conclude.
People having any doubts, anything you need to ask, ma'am, you can type it in the chat box. We will get straight away with it. If not, we will start with the quiz that we have planned.
So Sanjana is asking, where can I learn UX? Literally, I was like talking about this for the entire second half of the session, but okay, no worries. You can get started with the Google UX design course on Coursera. That is the place where usually I recommend people to get started. But if you want to get more hands-on, you can start with the 100 Days of UX program. So yeah, what lessons we should keep in mind when learning UI UX? So in my opinion, you should be a little bit more, open to trying new things. A lot of people, what they do is, I've created this design, I'm not going to change it now because I've created it with a lot of effort. So but that's not how it works. It has to be iterative. So like if you created a version 1, you have to create a version 2, and then better it as in when you go. And yeah, like just try to experiment as much as possible. Just try to keep your open mind, get feedback from people who are good, in the industry, or like who are like working as a product designer or something. So I usually do that. You can also join this platform called ADP List. So ADP List has like a lot of mentors on their platform, from where you can get like one-on-one support, like on your design journey. So there are a lot of product designers, product managers on the platform, and you can like do one-on-one mentorship sessions with them, or like just join group calls and stuff. So like there's a lot of things happening, and ADP List, like it's getting more popular in India. Hopefully in the future you might see a lot of events happening from there as well. But yeah, like that is again another good platform where you can get started. But yeah, just seek mentorship, seek feedback, be open to like trying new things, and just like, and be ready to copy stuff as well. You don't always have to be like very innovative. You can just try to steal other people's work just by like redesigning it yourself. So that's how you learn tooling and stuff. But yeah. Okay, what lessons? Okay,
Many
so
students are asking for 100 days of UI UX wala thing. So can you just provide the link, ma'am?
I have put the link. Not sure if it's working or not. Yeah, I think someone did put the link, but let me also like do it just in case. So this is the link. You can check out the challenges that I've been putting. I'll update it more often. But yeah. So yeah, let me look at some other questions as well. Is Adobe XD preferred on industrial level or for UI? See, so there's one thing that I forgot to mention in this session, that tools itself are not very important, because 5 years ago, people used to do UI UX on Photoshop. So like at that point, they did not have Figma or Adobe XD or anything, or any ease of use. So they used to create all the wireframes on Photoshop. Now we have all the tools and things required. Maybe 5 years down the line, there might be some other tool other than Figma, although I doubt it, but still, like there's a possibility. But the thing is that the thing about all of these tools is that if you learn one tool, you can learn another tool. Like you can learn the other two in 5 minutes. So that's the thing. Like if you are used to, like, just focus on one platform first, and then like if let's say you're learning everything on Figma, and then once you go for a job, you see that people are using Adobe XD, you won't have any problem in fitting in, because the tools are like the skills are pretty transferable. So it's not that much big of a deal. So you just choose one tool and go with it. That's my opinion there. Don't fuss too much over the tools. Being a fresher, what skills should I have? Basically, while applying for an internship, at least. I'm not sure if what you meant, what you mean by being a fresher. Is it like, you know, you're in first year or are you graduate? Not quite sure. Let me see. What are the research methods you use? So again, like research methods, there are so many research methods that there could be another workshop on that. So yeah, I mean, you can look through the UX Notion document that I've sent, 100 Days of UX. I think over there, like most of these research methods are talked about, and you also get challenges to do. How do I join the 100 Days of UX program? So you can like just start doing the challenges, tag Michi Spotlight on Twitter, or tag me if you want. Like it's up to you. If you're not comfortable doing that, that's fine. But the only advantage of tagging me is that I give you a retweet and I also review your stuff. So that's just it. Otherwise, it's difficult to find things. So again, that's up to you, but use the hashtag just to be visible. Being in the data science field, till what level we must learn about UI UX? I don't think you need to learn UI UX if you're in data science. That's not required, because usually you will work with data and data doesn't require that much of this stuff. So I think it's completely irrelevant. But yeah, within HCI itself, there's a field for deep learning. But yeah, that's another topic for a workshop anyway. Okay. How to know if UI UX is your field or not? If you're enjoying it, then sure, it is your field. If you're not enjoying it, it's not your field. Simple. Please keep updating 100 Days of UX so that we can learn it completely. Yes, for sure. I will.
Ma'am?
Yes, Shushmita.
Ma'am, I'm learning web development and I know HTML, CSS, and was just learning JavaScript. So, can learning UI UX will be a plus point or not?
Yes, if you want to be a front-end developer, UI UX is definitely going to help you, because especially for front-end engineer roles, people look for UI UX skills. So that's definitely a plus. No issues on that. Just one suggestion: if you're looking for internships in UI UX, it's not that difficult to do that, but you need to have like a good portfolio or something like that. So just try to create. You don't have to like the beauty about this field is that you don't need to have internship experience to get an internship. So that's the thing. Like even if you like if you never did an internship and you just want to do UX design, all you need to do is show them your work. If your work is good, they will take you. That's how it works here. So you don't have to show that, oh, I worked on at this company prior to this experience. So that's not required. So as long as you have a very good portfolio, you're set. And in the portfolio as well, if you're creating wireframes, try to explain why you did what you did, who these wireframes, like what this product is, who is it for. Try to explain everything and try to provide data and some sort of evidence about the things that you are showcasing on your portfolio. So that is just it. Like that's all you need. So yeah, I think that's the end of the questions. How can I can do UI, but I don't know how to level up to UX. What needs to be done? Okay. First thing first, go through the laws of UX website, and you will see different laws of UX. That is one thing. So you will understand the different usability principles and like how to think about designing for different kinds of people, like how to improve the user experience while designing. That is one thing. Second thing is like go through the 100 Days of UX a Notion document. So like all the resources over there will help you and guide you a little bit. So yeah, I hope that helps. And what about getting a job in it? Will we get a job on campus or off campus is key to success? Okay. I did not get the question, but I usually on campus UI UX roles are not there. So you have to get those off campus only. And I think off campus will pay you a lot more than on campus, at least in my knowledge, that is. unless you are from a very good university and like, you're from BITS or something. Other than that, like, you have to get your own jobs if you want to get more money. So that's just how it works. And it's as difficult as well. So off campus is very difficult. You have to prepare for it since at least starting from in your third year, because in your fourth year, you'll have so many things to do. You won't have the time. So yeah. All right. Yes, Sushmita, you've raised your hand.
I guess that was Sushmita. If you want to unmute, you can.
Ma'am, is there a remote internship for a UI UX?
Yeah, definitely. There are so many remote internships. You can like go through, see, but like if you don't have any projects, or if you haven't done a lot of work in UI UX, I would not recommend you to start with an internship right off the bat. That is my opinion. Just wait for it, do your courses, do learn stuff, watch videos, experiment a lot, build projects, and then think about internships. Internships are not that important. I wrote an article on 5 alternatives to tech internships, and there are a lot of things that you can do which have way more value than an internship. Because almost everyone does it, and a lot of people, what they do is they just like, get fake internship certificates. So doesn't matter, like, if you have projects to showcase, if you have like proof of work that okay, I am a good designer, I am a good developer, you don't need any internship. You can just straight away apply for a job. So yeah, I hope that helps.
I hope we're done with the questions, guys. Link of the blog, we have already provided link to
It's
ma'am's
on
LinkedIn.
my Substack. So I think they've already provided the link to my newsletter. But just in case, I'll provide it here, and like the
Yeah, it is there
organizers
in the
can
chat.
go ahead and like with the quiz and whatnot.
Also, we have
Yes.
provided the
So
links
thank
for.
you so much, ma'am, for this wonderful session and for assisting us in getting started on our UX UI adventure. And now I guess we can just start our quiz, and just can someone provide the link in the
Yeah,
chat
ma'am, but
box?
hands down, this has been the most interactive session of all that we have done till now. Like, amount of people that really interacted with you is commendable. Like, there are like generally 150, 100 people in most of the sessions, but they don't interact. They just listen it as a class. So it was indeed a pleasure to host this session, ma'am, and lovely to see all the people of our college getting to know what UI UX is. Thank you so much for it.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed the quiz thing. Yeah. Bye.
Bye, ma'am. Take care.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye-bye.
Okay, so the quiz link is there in the chat box. You can all just tap
We
in,
start.
and the code is also there.
Quiz
So
link and quiz code is also there.
join in. We have exciting goodies for you, as we have in our every session.
Okay, I can see people participating.
Wait a second, I'll join as well.
32 users. 34.
Okay, guys, do
Come
join
on,
in.
guys, join in.
Like there are over 70 participants in the meeting.
Okay, we have almost 50 people up there.
41.
Let's go.
Guys, do join because we have a good amount of goodies for the winner, and it will be a fun quiz. I can see 40 participants.
Yes.
Yeah, 50 is on 51. Okay, can we like start?
51.
We'll wait for like another 30 seconds, I guess. Then we'll
Yeah,
start.
let's wait for 1 minute. We will start at 4:50.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can see 52 now. Okay, guys, you just need to click that link and enter that code. Just put in your name there.
Let's start, Athar. I guess people are done with it.
Yeah, okay, let's start. So I'm starting the quiz. We have 54 participants. First question. Like, can you guys see the question, Kushang?
Yes. UX involves what type of human
Yes,
thinking?
UX involves what type of human thinking?
What do you think, Yashasvi?
I thought creative, but creative is in all options, so now I have to think more.
Be more creative.
Yes, be
I think
more
this question is
creative and
cracked.
more creative.
Every of it can be true, right?
Yeah, that's a tricky one. Okay, correct answer coming up.
Okay.
That's creative. Very less.
62% got it wrong. I bet these 11% of people is gonna steal this quiz.
Okay, next question coming up.
Yes.
UI is based on
UI is based on. UI is
quick,
based on.
quick responses and equal responses. Okay, this is a bit trick.
These questions are very confusing. The options are very confusing.
Yes, very similar.
Yeah.
They have similar words in every option, so it's hard to guess quickly.
Okay, which is the right one? Athar?
Okay, correct answer coming up. Yeah.
Damn, majority of people are getting it wrong.
This is a trick twist, I would say.
This is the most tricky quiz abhi tak.
Yeah.
Okay, only 11 people have answered. This shows they are
19.
waiting for it. 25.
Yeah, people are Googling it, I guess. Are they?
A
No,
user
these
flow is.
questions can't be found on Google. We can't find these questions on Google.
Don't
Okay, so
challenge.
basically, yeah,
Don't
these are
challenge.
based on UIX only. Okay, correct answer coming up. Yeah. This was close, like to majority.
Again, 45% of them got it wrong.
Yeah. Who's switching to career in UX?
The options are
This is
really
easy. This is bit easy.
No. Now look at third and fourth option here. Who is suited to a career in UX design?
Exactly.
People who are good in designing, people who are creative. Both of them are so similar. How can I get it? Like,
But UI, it's asking for UX. We need to rethink about all the four options.
yes, obviously we need.
Okay, correct answer.
39 people said. See again, only 15 people of them,
Again.
15% got it right.
Yeah.
Guys, it was UX, user experience, not
It's
UI
user experience,
interface.
not UI. Yeah,
Creative
correct.
kahan se?
What do UX
Yeah.
designers do?
This is
Okay, now
literally what
this
she
has
said
been
for
covered
like
in this
1 hour.
session, I guess.
For 1 hour, she's been talking about this
Yeah.
thing only.
Yeah, that you should get right. Still mixed bag of answers.
Because the options are very similar, you know.
Yeah. Okay, let's see who's the winner. I don't think anyone will get all 10 correct. That's
Yeah, it's interesting to see who will win this.
so this
Look,
is quite
29, 25, 25, 21.
Yeah.
Oh my
Okay, and the
God.
correct answer is majority of people have got this one right. Finally.
Oh God. Yeah.
Okay, next question coming up.
I'm definitely not winning this quiz. Among such of the following is the correct sequence of user interface design process.
Interface process.
I think a part of this is also been
Yes, it's also covered in the session.
Yeah.
Correct.
Questions are basically based out of session only. If you have heard the session properly, you will get at least 4-5 questions.
And for people like me, just take God's name and just put your option.
Yeah. Okay, correct answer coming up. So majority of got this one correct. It's
Correct,
nice.
yeah.
Okay, question. Okay, now this is easy.
Which
Yes,
was frequently
this is
used for
also
UI.
covered in the session.
People might fall for it as well.
Yeah.
I guess it's InDesign because it sees design.
People are already falling in trap, I guess.
Okay, let's see.
But
Let's
quick
see.
responses, quick response. Okay, correct answer coming up.
Oh my God.
Let's see
Correct.
option. Yeah, Adobe XD. Okay. 8th question is up.
This
The
is
question has the answer itself.
1980s. The first graphical user interface was developed in which year? Are you kidding me?
Guys, again, this is a trick one. 1980s is the decade. I can say that.
I guess it's 1982.
Let's
Two is lucky number.
Okay, let's see.
It was very easy. Yeah, this question was a giveaway.
Yeah, this was a giveaway because we have some difficult questions too. Okay, so penultimate question of the quiz. That's the 9th one coming up. Okay, this is easy, I guess.
I don't know this.
Yeah, mostly people know.
Oh, I didn't knew this.
Like mostly majority of the must have been used Bootstrap.
Yeah, the leaderboard will be up by the next question, guys. Whoever wins it, please message their details to us. Either we'll lose the track of you and we'll eat your goodies up. So you need to message us quickly your contact or email or
Yeah,
anything.
okay, correct answer coming up. So Twitter is the correct answer. Like
Twitter.
okay, next and the last question for this quiz coming up. And after that question, there will be a leaderboard. So we will get to know who is the winner. Okay, next question is up. Primary goal of UX is. Okay, quick responses. In the first 3 response, I got all 3 options. This is quite
This
confusing.
quiz was tricky.
Yeah. We don't want to
Many
just give
similar
away the goodies.
answers.
I really want Muskan to win this quiz. She's coming second in almost every quiz, you know?
Okay, so the correct answer is the majority people that have answered correctly. Okay, it's option B. Okay, leaderboard coming up. Are you guys excited? You can.
Let's see who's winning it. Let's see.
Yes, drum roll.
Let's see. Leaderboard coming up.
Trrr.
And Akshat
Akshat
Vijay
Vijay has won it.
Akshat.
See, 6 out of 10. No one even got more than 6, man. That is
Yeah.
amazing. Just on the time he has won it.
Mostly
Akshat,
people have got 4, 5, 6 correct. Okay. Yeah.
Okay,
Akriti came 4th in this one.
Okay, Akshat, I want you to give your details to any one of us, any of the host or anyone.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah, you
private
can
message.
just do a private message to us in chat.
Congratulations to you, buddy. I hope you enjoy what you get in the goodies. And yeah, thank you everyone for joining in for this session as well. We are done with the sessions of the day. And not to forget, we have a coding competition that is in collaboration with Coding Ninjas on their platform. I hope you all have registered there. If not, the team can just drop it. Okay, here Akshat has messaged me his Gmail. Cool, Akshat. Okay. 2 participants have raised their hands.
Okay, just
Yeah.
a second.
Sushmita. Yeah, if any, you can all leave the meeting. Just join in for the other day as well, guys. We have interesting day tomorrow as well. 3 sessions and the closing ceremony in which we'll give prizes to all the winners and of hackathons, of coding competitions as well. So lovely to see you all. Yeah, Sushmita, you want to say something?
So, what is the coding competition based on? Is it on DSA or something?
It's competitive coding.
Yeah, so basically for the competitive, like the coding competition, we have multiple segments. That is the beginner one, the intermediate one, and the advanced one. So it is for all. Like even if you know the basics of the programming language and basic DSA, you will be able to solve the questions. And it's for the advanced level people also. We have 3 categories, basically beginner, intermediate, and advanced.
Yeah, so it's like the quizzes similar only for everyone. We will judge who is the winner of beginner. So we have 9 prizes in it. Three for beginner category, 1 to 3, three for intermediate, and three for expert.
So like anyone can attempt it. At least you guys should try to attempt it.
Okay.
Okay,
Dimple, you
Chaitanya
want to
and
say?
Dimple, you can just unmute.
I want to ask regarding Kalpana, like the platforms aren't mentioned there. It's written that you can use any platform for designing. So like is Canva allowed for that?
Yes, it is. Yashasvi, if you can answer this one.
Yes, you can design on any platform. The submission you have to do is in the form of image. Okay, so the submission button, you can see there is one